U.S. border officials have seized a package from Canada Post containing a human brain. Initially sent from Toronto, Ontario, the package was headed to Kenosha, Wisconsin, and was secured with bubble wrap and paper towel. The package had no documentation included, and only a written description of it being an antique teaching specimen. Pretty likely the brain was sourced from a Toronto-based specialty store, literally named Skull Store. It appears to be a product named Human Brain Wet Specimen B, sold for the price of $1,975, although it was marked down from $4,500. This story sparked an interest into looking for similar stories through recent history involving the discovery of human brains. People find a lot of brains. A train engineer in San Antonio arrives at the station and is informed that there is something on the front of his train. Upon further inspection, he notices large pieces of human brains, but did not recall hitting anything during his trip. However, a second foreman on the train claims something was struck about 9 miles north of the city. Upon further investigation, no sign of any remains were found by officials. New Jersey state troopers find a box near Alma, Lake, New Jersey, containing a discarded brain. The brain is said to have been treated with a powerful disinfectant and was likely part of home experiments. Reports claim that a man and woman were seen carrying a similar box that day prior. It is not confirmed if they were actually medical students or where the brain was sourced from. A bit of research indicates the closest operating medical school at the time was likely Rutgers Medical School, over 88 miles away. Interesting enough, another local story can be found a year prior, complaining of limited laboratory facilities for the incoming pre-med students. Another peculiar case came from Rockland County, New York, when a collection of 16 human brains were found preserved in the medical examiner's office without any record of where they came from or if they were part of any active investigations.
Limbs and organs taken from people. I've got to have them to work with.
The doctor who last held that position was actually the famous pathologist Dr. Frederick Zugebe, most known for his TV appearances concerning the forensic investigation of Jesus Christ and the Shroud of Turin. The brains were uncovered in the midst of a separate investigation involving Dr. Zugebe in his previous position at the Rockland Psychiatric Center. Zugebe was under investigation for failing to report on the death of multiple patients from drugs he administered. Illinois police have received a call from the University of Illinois regarding a discovery of 22 preserved human brains. By a resident of Acacia Fraternity's account, a member was trying to do laundry and found the brains, eventually leaving them in a parking lot. Police estimate the value of the specimens to be possibly $2,200, which essentially meant a human brain was worth $100 in 1985. A group of school children tell their bus driver that they've spotted something in a nearby catch basin. The bus driver confirms and immediately calls the police. Upon their arrival, police believe it to be a human brain. Police would later confirm that the brain was likely stolen from the nearby Yale New Haven Hospital. The brain also happened to be extremely rare, being the victim of a non-communicable vascular disease. Allegheny County Police are in the midst of raiding a home in a couple of their mid-30s currently facing drug charges. While searching the home, police find a preserved brain floating in brown liquid. The man arrested claims to have received it from a friend in medical school. However, the police were unable to find a source of where the brain actually came from after checking with local colleges and institutions. Two 7th grade boys in Gainesville, Florida noticed something odd at their bus stop. They decided to take it with them to school and show their anatomy teacher. As both their teacher and the coroner's office would confirm, the boys had found a discarded human brain. The brain is believed to have been stolen from the University of Florida's College of Medicine, given the report around the same time of a brain used for neuroanatomy gone missing.
The brain.
In what the mayor of the town Olinda called a return to cannibalism, residents of a Brazilian slum have been driven to such extreme hunger that they're forced to eat the human remains dumped by nearby hospitals. The mayor also fails to acknowledge the horrible conditions of a city that drove 1,200 families to set up home in a literal open-air garbage dump. First-hand accounts speak of families having no choice but to eat the human brains found among the garbage. The night before Halloween, and a Knoxville, Tennessee resident steps outside to find something on her porch, which she believes to be a smashed pumpkin. After getting closer and smelling formaldehyde, she notices that it is in fact a brain with nearly a foot of spinal cord attached. In addition to reaching out to local hospitals and universities, they also notified police agencies in various southern states. Despite this, police claim that they cannot find anyone missing a brain. I'll let the jokes be made for themselves. Workers at the sewage treatment plant in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania have likely seen their fair share of filth, but when half a human brain appeared in their catch basin, by all reports it perplexed everyone.
Half, joined at the base by a bundle of connecting nerve fibers.
The plant was responsible for serving 13 nearby municipalities, so it would be nearly impossible to determine a possible source. Officials believe it was in the sewer system for a very short period of time. The common through line between these stories appears to be that no matter how sacred we hold human life, after we die, that might not always be the case. In a majority of these instances, authorities had no idea how people got their hand on the brains, and there seems to be poorly kept record throughout. In the early 1900s, many human anatomy experiments were only made possible by the efforts of grave robbers. In modern times, it is possible that those duties have been replaced by those who run our morgues and hospitals, but it is impossible to be certain.